Welcome back. I'm gonna teach you how to fill the claim form as a refugee or protect claiming in New Zealand. Remember, as the previous video, this is the PDF form as you can get it in the immigration website. This is the link. I'm gonna do a review and opinion of the claim form. Alright, this is the form. Confirmation of claim to refugee and protection status in New Zealand. What we're gonna do, we're going to review any section of this form. I'm gonna do my opinions and you're gonna learn something. So first, let's go to read the notes that's in the page 25 to 28. So it's at the end, the form, okay? First, this is gonna be like what is gonna be assessed your claim. So basically what it say here is like the main office or the headquarters is gonna be in Australia, and of course there is gonna be some branches in New Zealand and in other countries. The second part is gonna be the legal assistance and immigration advice. As told you before, this is gonna be an immigration advisor that are gonna help you for fill the form. However, they're gonna charge you, and the lawyer can help you with this. The lawyer, what I'm gonna do is gonna hand you this form and you have to fill it, and there is no science about this. But however, you want to be more confident, you can as a lawyer or immigration advisor. It's up to you. Okay, let's go to the second other section. Claim refugee protection status. This is some kind of process. Okay, it's the same thing as I mentioned in the first video. Okay, of course you must complete this form in English. If you don't English, you can have an interpreter or translator. Is gonna be the immigration branch can give you for free. You have the help of the lawyer. Of course, the lawyer is gonna ask an interpreter, but you have to pay that. So I recommend you that you can do it by yourself using Google Translate. This is very important. According to this, they recommend you to answer all the questions of the form. In the case you don't know, right, don't know. This is very important because there's gonna be very phase or stage of this asylum process. So you don't know, you can't later complete this information, and it's gonna be very an advantage for you in this case. Right. What else? Sorry about that. Okay. So this is very important. So you must give a separate full written statement of your experience or circumstance that leads you to claim a refugee or protection status. This is like the complement of this section. Section I here, where basically you have to explain why you are seeking asylum seeker. And this is the questions that you have to complete. This is the statements is gonna be basically your story. Okay, so of course this section I says the same definition that is in the top of this form, and also the says the definition of the Immigration Act about the Convention Against Torture, most famous CAT, and the international convenience of civil and political rights. Okay, so my advice in this case, before to fill these questions, you need to understand how the refugee law works and what is your rights. When you understand what are your rights, then you can't do or you can fill your stories without lie or present a false statement. This is my advice. Okay, so if you are in advice of the lawyer is gonna say you have to write it by yourself. Also, this you're gonna see this in the whole form, like you have to sign and date each page. Why? Because in the case that you present false statements or false information, the immigrations, the tribunal or the officer can say, look, you did that, you write that, and you have the signature on every page, so it's gonna be hard for you to say that you didn't do that. This is, for example, you may attach another documents, that means evidence for support your claim that is relevant. For example, you need to provide all the originals, but you don't want to send originals, you can send the copies. So the copies can be certified by a lawyer, so the lawyers have the power to say, hey, this is original. Also, you can do that in the justice of peace. What is the justice of peace? Is a person who are observing the documents and say this is the original, and the person or the witnesses that this is original document. You can find it in the libraries, or you can go and type it in Google and find what is the location, and it's gonna be for free. Also, the certification of the documents must be translated and must be with a recognized translator. Okay. You have another family member or person who want to claim asylum seeker. They must file separately. Why separately? Because the officer can compare their statement. They're gonna compare your information, that is gonna be the same, and of course it's gonna be the assessment for your credibility. Okay. Alright, so let's go here. Okay, about the information that you're gonna give in your claim, basically on the summarize, what it says here is all the information that you can give is gonna be confidential. This is by law under the section 150 on the Immigration Act 2009. Remember, there is a act where explained, or there is basically the rules about this immigration and refugee law. Also, if you are concerned about your information, for example your names or your statements or your denounce or anything that you want to hide, the people who are working there, they can hide all this information. Okay. Here in this part, on the warning section, I'm gonna reveal a secret. But it says here, and summarize, any person who make a false statement in the declaration is guilty on offense punishable by a fine or imprisonment. Let's go to check this is true or not. Why? Because for me this is not true. I'm gonna show you the reality. Okay. Here I have the book. This book is the name. Okay, 1 second. I have the book of the Immigration and Refugee Law. This is basically the book that all the tribunals, the lawyers, and the people who are studying immigration and refugee law must read. Here they explain this. Okay, so I found it for you, and it says offense and penalty under the legislation. Okay, so in this part is basically the same what is saying the warning. Let's go to read about that. Second, produce and surrenders any documents or supply any information the immigration officer or refugee and protection officer, knowing that it fails or misleading in any material respect. It does not apply to the refugees seeking refugee status who are illegally in the country, provided they are present themselves to the appropriate authorities without delay. The penalty for this term is of imprisonment not exceeding 7 years or fine not exceeding 1,000 or both. Third, complete any document requires as a part of border requirement in manner that the person knows to be false or misleading in some respect, or is aware that it fails to comply with all statutory requirements when arrived in New Zealand. Okay, you can check they have numbers here, right? Okay, let's go to pass the page to finish this. Clearly, such conduct amounts to frauds. The penalty for this is a term of imprisonment not exceeding the 3 months or a fine exceeding 1,000 or both. Let's go. They have another number here, so let's go to check this. According to this, you can see this is in Immigration Act 2009. On the section 356, paragraph 1 and number 3. But if you're going to check this or research this, you're gonna find that is not true. Here in the websites of the Immigration Act, that you can have it here in the legislations that gov, you can find all the acts of New Zealand, and actually it's easy for read. It's not hard to understand, so it's matter that you have to read and don't be lazy. So let's go to check these numbers. 356 here downs. Okay, penalties. But you can see the title, it doesn't have sense what it says in the form. For example, here it says carrier and person in charge of craft. For example, 357 is employers. So this is penalties for different subjects, you know. Okay, so let's go to check the number 1 and 3. So let me check one more time. 3. Okay, as you can see, number 1 is 6. A person convicted of an offense against section 349. In the case of a carrier or craft, nothing to do with present a false statement, you see. So what I'm trying to say is like trying to scare the people who want to claim false information. And actually look, for example, in the book says that it's gonna be 100 New Zealand dollars. Here is 50. That is nothing to do with the subject, and the number 3 doesn't exist, you see. So this is one of the secrets that is not true what it says here in this document, the claim form. So if you present a false statement, don't worry, this is not gonna be punishable or any kind of fine of you cannot go to the jail. Also, you can check about this in another book about with the name of Beyond the Truth. that they say that they know that most of the claims are false. So for that reason, they're trying to educate all the decision makers, all the officers, all the people who are in the field, that what only matter is trying to get some facts behind of the false statement. I'm gonna explain that later on. Okay, so this is the beginning of the form. So okay, I highlight the most important things that I'm going to explain. I am not going to explain everything, just the important things, and the important things I'm gonna give my opinion, and of course I'm gonna reveal some secrets. So okay, so let's go with this one. You must answer all the questions even if you intend to submit a written statement. Remember in the notes that you don't know the answer, you can put I don't know, and during the process you can explain that kind of information that is missing there. Okay, so another one is, if you require more space to answer question, attach additional sheets of paper signed and dated with the reference to the question it relates to. This is talk about the writing statement. I'm gonna do a video about how to write a statement. Okay, so I'm going to pass this. This is the recognition as a refugee in New Zealand. So this paragraph that I highlight here is going to be the base of your assessment. This has a deep meaning, and each word that is underlined has another deep meaning. So this is, I'm going to make a video explaining this because this has a different interpretation. I'm going to read. Owing to well-founded fear of being persecuted for reason of race, religion, nationality, membership, or a particular social group or political opinion. So this is going to be the 5 categories that is going to be the assessment for the refugee convention. And of course this has to be, and you have to prove that the country that you are afraid, they cannot give you protection. Alright, continue with this. This is very important. So to be recognized as a refugee in New Zealand, you need to demonstrate that the Refugee Convention definition of refugee applies to you. I'm going to make another video showing and explaining how you can't what is the definition first, what is the definition, and how it's gonna apply to you. This is gonna be on their decisions or precedent case that the decision maker and also their officers is going to have a reference, like a manual for them. Okay, I'm gonna explain that later on. Continue. As I told you before, there's gonna be 3 conventions: as a refugee and as a protected person. And the protected person is gonna be the cat and the civil and political rights. My recommendation before continue this, type these conventions and read all the articles, because in the interview and the assessment is gonna be only one article of many of them. But if you know all the articles, it's gonna be all your rights, that you have the right for making an assessment. Great, so I'm gonna pass this. This is not important. This is just information that I have more explanation. I'm gonna explain that. It's too obvious. Okay, country of the present citizenship. That is very important, because that country that you're gonna put there is gonna be the country that is gonna make the research. about the last news, the real situations, on behalf of the officer. And also I highlight this, another country of citizenship. For example, if you are from Africa and you are applying the asylum seeker in New Zealand, and the officer realized that you have a citizenship, for example, in Denmark, they're gonna say, hey, you have a citizenship in Denmark, that country can protect you, so why you protect me? Why you claiming asylum seeker here if you can go there? So this is the reason why I put there. The other question is, to which country do you fear returning? So the country that you put there, you have to demonstrate why those countries can't not protect you. What is your race, ethnic linguistic group, nationality and religion? Question is very important because these 4 categories gonna belong to the definition of refugee. So depending what you put there, the officer or the decision maker is gonna do the assessment in your case. Please check the second part. The next video you will find it in the link on the video description. Remember that most of my videos are in Dailymotion. You can find them using the name of Refugee NC.